Peg Doherty, please.
Good morning. We're gathered here today to speak about Assemblyman Kevin Byrne. We ask God to bless and guide him as he plans his campaign for Putnam County Executive. Putnam has been a caring, pro-life community, which God willing will continue as such. In the past 2 months, 2 families who are new in the area have told me how warm and welcoming people have been to them. Putnam residents, you should be most pleased to hear that. We are living during a time when life no longer is valued and respected as it should be. This is the time to encourage a greater respect for life, born and unborn, for strong family life, and for respect for the elderly and handicapped. Kevin has strong principles in all three of these areas, which will guide him to continue keeping Putnam a welcoming and vibrant community. Kevin has been an approachable assemblyman in Albany who listens to his constituents and will continue that way. It is a challenging task to work for the common good of all in Putnam County. In the midst of difficulty and uncertainty, Kevin, remember to pray for guidance. We will pray for you during your campaign and wish you success in this endeavor. Kevin's legislative experience, his healthcare knowledge, and his degree in business administration will serve him well. We are confident you will be a fine county executive for Putnam County. May God continue to bless and inspire you and your family. Amen.
To affirm our patriotism and commitment to the greatest country in the world, I'd like to introduce Putnam County Conservative Chairman James Maxwell. Please come up.
Veterans, may a head salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, James. Okay, just bear with us. I was handed a lot of notes this morning as I walked through the door. Okay, as we gather here today, I have to recognize our state, county, and local representatives as they are the reason that this county thrives. Their leadership and commitment has kept the county of Putnam at the top of the list for quality of life and safety the list for safety and quality of life in the state of New York. I applaud you for what you've done. And these are some of our representatives that are here today. I'm a little nervous right now. James Maxwell, Putnam County Conservative Chairman. It's a long list. Let's hold off on the applause until the end. Town Supervisor, James Schmidt. Putnam County Clerk, Michael Bartolotti. Town of Southeast Councilman, Eric Cypress. Former Town of Patterson Supervisor, Michael Griffin. Former Town of Southeast Councilman, Robert Cullen. East Fishkill Town Councilman, candidate for New York State Assembly, A.J. Behan. Former Town of Somers Supervisor, Mary Beth Murphy. Town of Somers Councilman, William Faulkner. Former Town of Putnam Valley Highway Superintendent, Larry Cobb. President of the Uniformed Fire Officers, Jim McCarthy. Former New York State Assemblyman Willis Stevens. Former New York State Senator Terrence Murphy. Yorktown Supervisor Matt Slater. Former New York State Assemblyman Bob Costelli. Yorktown Councilman Sergio Esposito. Former Town Supervisor of Carmel and former Putnam County Deputy County Exec Frank Del Campo. President of the Westchester County Corrections Officers Benevolent Association Neil Pallone. President of the Environmental Police Benevolent Association Matt Kruger. Town Councilman for the Town of Carmel Frank Lombardi. Putnam County Legislator Paul Yonke. Former Putnam County Assistant District Attorney Christopher York. Town Supervisor for the Town of East Fishkill Nick D'Alessandro. Representing Assemblyman Colin Schmidt, who's a candidate for Congress, Taylor Wyneth. Town of Paterson Councilwoman Mary Smith, and last but not least, Legislative Director for the New York State Fraternal Order Police, Michael Morgillo. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to introduce Putnam County Deputy Executive and former Carmel Town Supervisor, the Honorable Frank Del Campo.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Boy, I see some wonderful faces from the past, but I see so much enthusiasm in those faces, even though we're getting a little up in the age. You know, I've been active, even though I'm retired for almost 16 years from government, but I've been writing different articles in the paper about the love I have for my community and the care that I have for my community. I've lived here over 50 years. I want to stay here. And Kevin Byrne would give me a call, or he would write something to me or about me, or talk to someone I knew. Like Kevin Byrne brought up, he liked what you talked about not bringing marijuana dispensaries to our towns by going against Cuomo on this 9-month, almost to the birth of a child, health bill, which he disguised as pro-choice, and also the zoning issues that are local in our town, when the federal government and the state government is trying to change our zoning laws to bring in their political agenda to our homes that we cherish, that we've had for so many years. It's our only real value that we have now. And there's so many other values. So I had a long talk with Kevin. I said, you know, Kevin, I really have to ask you these questions. And boy, oh boy, you've got a leader here. Don't worry about age. I was 42 years old when I got involved. They said I was too young. And then when I was thinking of running again, Tony Scanagieco told me I was too old to run for politics. This is all the game they're playing. Kevin is very humble, he's very sincere, and he really means what he's talking about. I could see from being an old former school administrator, school teacher. I was a head coach for many years on the varsity level. I know when somebody's playing a game and manipulating. And I have to tell you, he's going to have a fight on his hands, but like I started out as a primary. I had the chairman erase my name on a petition. And I fought that, and we won. And history tells you we never lost another race 9 times. So people respect hustle, they respect values, and they respect honesty and integrity. And you know something, he talks about collaborating. Where do you hear politicians say, I'm going to work together as a partnership? He's interested in what's going on in our schools with this critical race, progressive liberal. It's really damaging the minds of our children, trying to twist history into something that it isn't. Kevin knows his limits, he knows his territory, but he's willing to be a helping hand in all of these issues. And I am very proud, and I know I speak for my wife Terry and my whole family, to do whatever I can to help Kevin get through this and win this county executive. I've been there. I know what it takes. Believe me, Bob Bondy was up on the farm half the time, and I was running the county. So I knew what the hell I was doing. And I know who I had to interface with. And I know what the issues are. And Kevin speaks to all of these issues. It has nothing to do with age. It has to do with young, talent, eager leadership. So I hope all of you come out of here today, like I am, very enthused. And I wholeheartedly endorse and support Kevin for our new county executive. Thank you.
Mr. Del Campbell, thank you very much. I'd like to inform a member of the Putnam County Sheriff's Office, Pat Perry, just arrived. Thank you, Pat, for being here. Kevin Byrne is a lifelong resident of Putnam County. This endeavor would not be possible without the support of his wife, Brianne, and their son, Braden. I want to thank you for allowing this to happen. Kevin has always committed himself to public service and to this county. As a young man, he was a role model and achieved his Eagle Scout status. As a volunteer, he was with the Kent Fire Department. He served 3 terms as their president for that organization. He also volunteered as an emergency medical technician for Westchester EMS. And in the town of Putnam Valley, he was on our planning board. In the private and nonprofit sector, Kevin was a regional director for the American Heart Association. He also served as senior director of operations for Carmel Medical. Politically, Kevin interned for Congresswoman Sue Kelly. He was also the deputy director for Congresswoman Nan Hayworth. And today he serves us as the assemblyman in the 94th Assembly District. Kevin has the right stuff. Kevin has received countless endorsements. And the reason I looked down is because I had to figure out where I was. He's received countless endorsements. He's received endorsements from the New York State Young Republican Chairman, Peter Gwinter. He's received the endorsement from the New York State Teen Republicans, from former Deputy County Executive from former Town of Carmel Supervisor Frank Del Campo, from former Putnam County Clerk Dennis Sant. He also received endorsements from the former Chief of Staff of Westchester County Executive Rob Astorino and former Chair of the Westchester County Board of Legislators George Roros. He's received the endorsement from former Putnam County Legislator Roger Gross, Town of Southeast Councilman Eric Larkin, Town of Putnam Valley Councilman Christian Russo, United States Congresswoman Nicole Malikatakis, former U.S. Congresswoman Nan Hayworth, New York State Assemblyman and candidate for U.S. Congress in Putnam County, Colin Schmidt. Kevin has also received a tremendous amount of support from our men and women in blue and has received endorsements for the following law enforcement organizations that either serve or have members who live here in Putnam County. The Environmental Police Benevolent Association, represented here today by President Matt Kruger. Westchester County Corrections Officer Benevolent Association, represented by Peter Chiera. And the Westchester County Corrections Superior Officers Association, represented by Neil Pallone. Also today, thank you. Also today, he has a longtime supporter and president of the Uniform Fire Officers Association, James McCarthy. James, you here? Our Deputy County Executive from Dutchess County, Mark Molinaro, was supposed to be here. He's currently running for Congress, and he sends his regards and support for Kevin Byrne. We also have a, let me look, I gotta look at this list, guys, sorry.
Put your glasses on.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so we also have an endorsement, a brand new endorsement from the Uniform Firefighters Association of New York City. Feel free to, I'm reading the instructions and I feel like somebody we know who runs our country. the Uniform Firefighters Association of New York City, ladies and gentlemen, Justin Byrne. Where are you? Thank you.
No, thank you. Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Justin Byrne, spelled exactly the same way as Kevin. We're not related, before anybody asks, but I do consider him my brother. I've known him for quite a few years, worked with him a couple of things around the county. Great guy, great leadership. I think he's going to make an excellent, excellent county executive. I'm also a New York City firefighter and the Uniform Firefighters Association. The Uniform Firefighters Association, my union, has endorsed Kevin. I'd like to read a letter right now. Dear Kevin Byrne, on behalf of the Uniform Firefighters Association, Greater New York, FDNY, it is our great privilege to announce our endorsement of your election to Putnam County Executive. Your experience and concern for public safety professionals, working families, our education system, excuse me, and the economy will certainly be major assets to the people of Putnam County. Now more than ever, it is important that we elect individuals who will protect the economy and growth of New York, as well as remember the hardworking people who live here. It is said that all politics are local. Many politicians lose sight of that fact after being elected. We are confident that you will never forget the people that elected you and will always fight to protect and enhance the interests of the people of your district. For these reasons, we are proud to endorse you in the election of Putnam County Executive. We wish you continued success and look forward to you for many years to come. Very truly yours, Andrew Ansborough, President, Robert Eustace, Vice President, New York City Fire Association, Uniform Firefighters Association.
Okay. Where's Robert? Is Robert, you almost ready? Where's Robert Kraus? Oh, just be ready. We're coming. All right. Hey, as candidate for county executive, we know and understand that Kevin offers a diverse background and has plenty of experience. But for us, the challenges remain the same: high taxes, out of control government spending, corrupt politics, and mandates that make life impossible for our families and small businesses to thrive in Putnam County. Kevin is ready to make an impact for our families. But in order to make a difference, and I can see by the support in this room, we need to register voters, gather petitions, organize and participate in Kevin's events, because the future of our county and the future of our generation depends on it. At this time, I'd like to introduce Chairman Maxwell. He has a special announcement.
Thank you. I got a whole speech here. That's too much. We endorse Kevin, and I can say I don't have to convince anybody here, because anybody who's here on a day like today is convinced. I have to assure you, and I assure you, that we did not endorse someone who was not great. This guy is top of the line.
Thank you, Chairman Maxwell. Oh boy, here we go. Anything else I got to do? Tara, Matt, did I cover it all? You got it. All right, I'm good? Good to go? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, overwhelmingly and decisively, the best candidate for Putnam County Executive, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Byrne.
me and the Putnam County Sheriff's Department pipe band together many years ago. And if you play bagpipes, you know you typically don't like it when the audience claps because it puts you out of step. But I started it, so I think it's okay. Wow, this place is packed, and I want to thank you because it's hard to pull off an event when you have to reschedule it because your original date was postponed because of a snowstorm, and then the morning of your actual event that was already rescheduled, no one can get into their car because of all of the ice. So I just hope you know how much it means to me that you are all still here and showing your support. I want to thank our MC, our Putnam Valley Conservative Party chairman, and a longtime friend, also former law enforcement, Henry Lopez. Can we give Henry a big round of applause? Chairman Maxwell, our Conservative Party in Putnam County has done an incredible job standing up for our values, ensuring that our beautiful county does not morph into some sort of socialist bastion for the big government tax and spend progressives that may come from New York City. Jim, you serve now as our Conservative Party chairman. I'm honored to have the party's endorsement, but I know you also served as a member of law enforcement, as a member of our armed forces, and it means even more that I have your personal endorsement. Thank you. Peg Doherty, who gave that very beautiful invocation. Peg, where are you? Thank you for providing that invocation and making sure we get this off to the right start. I've done this enough times now that you learn, like, you always really got to start with thanking people first so you don't run the risk of missing it. My family, any person that runs for elected office at any time needs to first do their own in-house analysis. Does this make sense? Is this going to help my family? Yeah, I want to do it, but is it going to work? How is this going to affect your family? Whether it's a re-election or you're running for a new office. My bride, Brianna, has been with me every step of the way. Bree, thank you for being here. I love you. Braden, where is he? Hey, Braden. He's the man. Oh, there you go. Big round of applause for this guy. So my last kickoff, we was in the middle of this pandemic, so we did it outside at not Cornerstone Park, I'm sorry. Clock Tower Commons, yes, in Southeast, and he was in a crib. Now this guy's running around, talking, I gotta be careful what I say, but it means a lot, and I have a tremendous support network, and at the core of it is always your family. So thank you. Yes, you want to grab that? It's very nice. I hope he never gets involved in politics. I also want to make sure I thank our campaign committee, because we have a lot of people that support us. Not everyone's on a committee per se. Everyone helps in their own way. But it consists of a lot of volunteers. Some people do work with me in the assembly, but they've made the extra effort to help, and they're invested in this race. We have Henry Lopez, Terry Keegan, our campaign manager, also the former president of the Young Republicans. We have Matt Cavucci, who has long served as my chief of staff for the assembly. Putnam Valley Councilman Christian Russo, former town of Southeast Councilman Robert Cullen, Brewster Bob, say that affectionately. James Edelman is my treasurer, longtime friend from grade school. Pat Perry, Kirsten Schrammick, Mike McDonald, Kieran Bruin, Jack Huffnagel, Frank Del Campo, and some of our other friends from Kent and Phillipstown who just simply couldn't be here today. But I want to say thank you to all of you. You helped make this happen. Now, you heard from Henry and some other speakers that have already endorsed our candidacy for county executive. I got to tell you, it is not very common for people to get early endorsements. That's a testament to the amount of trust and faith that they have in this campaign and that we will win. I am particularly grateful to the Conservative Party, who interviewed all of our candidates and then made their decision and voted to endorse me overwhelmingly. It's no secret Putnam County is a very patriotic county. We're also home to many of New York's finest and bravest. So I am incredibly honored to have the endorsement of the Uniformed Firefighters Association and be joined also by the president of the Uniformed Firefighter Officers Association, Jim McCarthy. It means a tremendous amount to have their support. These people are heroes, folks. And it is, again, a tremendous honor. As well as our men and women in law enforcement. I know it was mentioned earlier, we have the legislative director from the Fraternal Order of Police in attendance, just a longtime friend. But we also have already been endorsed by the Westchester County Correction Officers Association and the Superior Officers Association. So Neil Pallone and Pete DiChiero, wherever you are, thank you. And the Environmental Police Benevolent Association, you know, they have a tremendous job because these people don't just have a dangerous job to go out there, protect and serve, but the Environmental Police Benevolent Association, they also protect our environment and our drinking water. So I just want to say, again, heartfelt thanks for your endorsement. I want to start by saying it has been an incredible honor to serve these past 3 terms as your state assemblyman. Early on, I can tell you, we had a lot of people discount us, our ability to run and to win. We proved them wrong. We had a lot of people allege that, Kevin, you can't accomplish anything as a Republican in the assembly and being a minority member. But we proved them wrong too. I want to say to all of the amazing people of Putnam County and Northern Westchester who placed their faith and trust in me to serve as their state legislator for 3 terms, you have my sincere thanks. Some of our Westchester friends are still here showing up to be supportive. Thank you. I will complete this final term serving you, and it has been one of my life's greatest honors. I want you to know I remain steadfastly committed to ensuring that you have a more responsible, accountable, affordable government. That as we come into a new time and place, with a new legislative district being formed, I submit to you that I will not be running for re-election to state assembly, but I will wholeheartedly support whoever our next assembly person is. For me, after nearly 6 years of service as your assemblyman, and having previously worked in the community, in the public, private, and nonprofit sectors, I am now ready and determined to lead closer to home. That is why I'm proud to announce to you, this time in person, that I'm declaring my candidacy to serve as your next Putnam County Executive, and I will not be backing down. We have an open seat for this position because years ago, our county officials actually had the foresight to support term limits, something I too support in state government. It doesn't discredit or disparage the work of the past, but it presents the opportunity to bring in new leaders, new ideas, and new opportunities. Just as I hope whoever my assembly successor is will strive to do better than me, I too will strive to do better for Putnam County. As a member of the legislature working with our partners at every level of government, I introduced and passed over 20 bills to address numerous local needs. I stood against Albany and the big government progressives who ran roughshod over counties and municipalities. And I never stopped fighting for common sense solutions that limited government while also improving the health, safety, and well-being of our citizens. In the Assembly, I not only led, but I continue to lead as the ranking member of the Assembly Health Committee. I'm a former member of the ranking member of the Aging Committee. I chair the Assembly GOP Conferences Program Committee. And I used to co-chair the Assembly GOP statewide task force on transportation and critical infrastructure, something that is extremely important to our partners in local government. As an assemblyman, I dedicated myself to making our state more business-friendly and affordable. I not only pushed back against excessive government spending and new harmful taxes, I offered real solutions to help right-size government and improve services to our neighbors. I spoke up and delivered on transparency and accountability while countless other officials, quite frankly, Republican and Democrat, stayed silent. In 2017, when Andrew Cuomo's popularity was still at near record levels and some GOP officials remained fearful, I was the only one to introduce a bill to bring back the Tappan Zee Bridge name. It may seem a little silly, but you know what? The people that care about it, they care about it a lot. And I'm grateful that that effort has now been resumed by my colleagues across the state in the wake of Andrew Cuomo's resignation. In 2020, after Cuomo's own Department of Health initiated a deadly mandate that forced COVID-19 patients into our nursing homes, I spoke out when few others would. Andrew Cuomo blasted President Trump's pandemic response. I was featured in the New York Post thanking the president for the USNS Comfort, the Army Corps of Engineers, the personal protective equipment, ventilators, field hospitals, and hundreds of millions of dollars in aid delivered to us in our time of need. I then became a leading voice condemning Cuomo's COVID-19 lies and misinformation. We were right, and our efforts were recognized on a national basis. We demanded accountability from Cuomo. I held hearings and launched investigations into the terrible nursing home cover-up, and we exposed the harsh truth that Andrew Cuomo had lied to millions of New Yorkers about how many seniors died from contracting COVID-19 in nursing homes, that he had profited from those lies with a self-congratulatory book, and that he tried to suppress anyone who questioned him. Again, I was told repeatedly by the naysayers, Kevin, nothing's ever going to happen. But something did. Andrew Cuomo did not leave office willingly. Make no mistake, it is because of our voices, advocacy, and determination that he is no longer governor of New York. I want you to feel rest assured, I will take that same passion, dedication, and vigor to work right here in Putnam County as your next county executive. As your county executive, I will work for limited government, priority-based budgeting, transparency. I will stand up for our active military, our veterans and first responders, and we will support all of our constitutional freedoms. Yes, our First Amendment and our Second Amendment. And let's be clear, when we speak about taxes in county government, we're not going to simply take our cues from Albany and merely just work to stay under the tax cap. We will cement administrative guardrails to make sure that we control spending in a responsible manner that ensures the big government progressive ways of New York City do not creep up into Putnam County. We will put priority-based budgeting into practice, impose a new cap on new discretionary county spending, pass a taxpayer bill of rights that would require any tax increases passed by a 2/3 majority of the county legislature. And when I say we talk about taxes, you gotta talk about taxes and spending. Anyone who's serious about taxes has to talk about spending. And I'll tell you, we'll identify ways to control spending. The first place we're gonna start is we will freeze pay raises for politicians, including the office of county executive. We will work to make our county government more transparent by going out into the community and enhancing access to the office of county executive and the county executive, him or herself. As the saying goes, all politics is local. But that's not really the case if people don't have genuine access to their elected leaders. And as your county executive, I will promote a new era of transparency to county government that embraces new technologies and engages the people we represent. We'll work to update and upgrade our website to make information more easily accessible to the public, enhance accessibility to the county executive's office, and something that, at least to my knowledge, no Putnam County executive has done. We will host annual constituent forums throughout the county, just as I did in the assembly throughout the district. Putnam County needs leadership from its next county executive. Leaders lead and followers follow. And as the Chief Executive Officer of county government, know that I will lead. I will work to make Putnam County a constitutional county. Not some fringe label to simply appease voters, but a gesture and meaningful statement via resolution that will demonstrate our county officials continue to support and respect our United States Constitution, when so many other officials from Washington and Albany, and in some cases, even local governments like New York City, have shown that they do not. I'll ensure that our county's law enforcement has the support it needs and support their efforts to collaborate with all local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies. You know what that means? That means I will stand firm against any possible renewed attempt by an extreme left to make Putnam County a sanctuary county.
All right.
Now, some people may think that's like a non-issue. Well, most of us never thought Westchester County would become a sanctuary county, but they are. And this also may sound a little bit far-fetched as well. But whoever thought non-citizen voting in local elections would be taken seriously? But here we are in 2022, and New York City is allowing 800,000 non-citizens to vote in its municipal elections. As your assemblyman, I have already acted and introduced a state constitutional amendment to ensure that only American citizens vote in our elections. And as your county executive, I will ensure that it stays that way right here in Putnam County. I do want to say that we have some truly remarkable county employees that provide essential services which many of our families, friends, and neighbors continue to rely on. Many programs are indeed mandated by the state or are simply core functions of our county government, like taking care of our county roads and bridges, delivering social services, managing public health, assisting seniors, helping our veterans, providing support to our firefighters and EMS through the Bureau of Emergency Services, and more. We will show the people on the ground doing this important work that we respect them, that their work is meaningful and has a positive impact on the lives of our Putnam County families. We will do that not by only revisiting, but updating our county's mission statement, and we will develop additional mission statements for each county department, something that can assist not only in management and budgeting, but also help inspire and boost morale among our county's workforce. The county has always been extremely patriotic. We are a county, as I said before, made up of many firefighters, police officers, active military, veterans, and more. That's why we will continue to pay tribute to our military heroes with the row of honor right outside in the hamlet of Carmel, something that has become a hallmark in this county. And I want you to know firsthand from me, as your county executive, we will respect our beautiful American flag and we will not let it be neglected in the snowy cold. Friends, there is always so much to say, but there's never enough time. If you haven't noticed by following this race already, there is an establishment that is actively working against us. But I want you to know, I will not be dissuaded by those in power or those others who are creatures of the establishment. I took on the establishment in Albany, and if I have to take it on in my own backyard, I'll do that too. I told you earlier I won't be backing down, and I won't. I am running to serve as your next Putnam County executive to improve our county, protect our families, and ensure our amazing county continues to prosper. We will do this together, and we will win. Thank you.
Last but not least, this is like the closing credits. Hang on a second, here we go. Also, I want to welcome Michael Bartolotti. Michael, are you still here? All right.